Tonight, our special transmission as a report reveals Stephen Harper's investment in Israel's AI facial recognition tech to target Palestinians. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Aisha Ashraf. Today is the 193rd day since Israel started targeting Palestinians incessantly. Despite international pressure and deteriorating humanitarian conditions, Israeli strikes in Gaza persist. In the past 24 hours, Israeli attacks have killed 56 Palestinians. 89 have been injured. Israeli forces have targeted civilian areas, including a playground and market in Maghazi refugee camp. A separate strike in Sheikh Radwan neighborhood has killed 7 civilians and wounded 20 others. Video from the scene shows the bodies of the victims being transported to the Al-Shifa Hospital. The Israeli army says it has conducted over 40 raids across Gaza, during which it has targeted Hamas's infrastructure. 3 Hezbollah members have been killed by Israeli drone strikes yesterday in Lebanon. The death toll from Israel's war continues to rise. At the time of writing, at least 33,899 Palestinians have been killed. The casualties include more than 14,000 children and 10,000 women. A report by the United Nations estimates 8,000 Palestinians are buried under the rubble. The death toll in Israel from Hamas attacks stands at 1,139. Since the onset of Israel's war, 85% of Gaza's population has been displaced. Israel stands accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice. An interim ruling in January ordered Tel Aviv to stop genocidal acts and take measures to provide humanitarian assistance to civilians in Gaza. Today is Palestinian Prisoners' Day. A statement released by the Prisoners' Affairs Group today says more than 9,500 Palestinian detainees are held in Israeli prisons. The detainees include 80 women and more than 200 children. The statement says the figure does not include Palestinians held by Israeli forces in Gaza. Among the detainees, 3,660 Palestinians are held without trial or charge under Israel's notorious policy of administrative detention. More than 40 children and 20 women are held administratively without trial or charge. Investment firm led by former Prime Minister Stephen Harper supports an Israeli company producing recognition tech used by the Israeli Defense Forces. The Israeli forces have been using the AI-based facial recognition system to identify Palestinian civilians during the ongoing war. Digital media company The Breach reports the system is developed by tech company Coresight. The company is funded by Harper's firm. The tech program is handled by the elite cyber intelligence unit, 8,200 of Israeli forces. It is led by a former partner of Harper's firm. He oversees the surveillance program that targets Palestinians for assassination. Multiple media reports suggest the system has led to wrongful interrogations and torture of civilians. Harper is a staunch supporter of Israel. He has previously compared Palestinian resistance to Nazis. Board member of Coresight, Jora Island, has advocated for Gaza's ethnic cleansing. Qatar is condemning the US Congressman Steny Hoever for threatening to reassess ties over Gaza prisoner exchange negotiations. Hoyer has accused Qatar of supporting Hamas. Hoyer demands Qatar put pressure on Hamas or US-Qatar relations will be reconsidered. His comments have received a backlash from Qatari officials. A statement released by the Qatar embassy in Washington says the country has been involved in mediation efforts since 2012 because of the US's request. The statement says that Qatar has facilitated temporary truce efforts, but negotiations have been stalled. Qatar argues its mediation role is serving the US interests. Before the war, Qatar coordinated directly with the US and Israel to finance electricity in reconstruction projects in Gaza. Analysts suggest a ceasefire would bolster Qatar's regional influence. A mass grave containing 10 Palestinian bodies has been discovered in the courtyard of Gaza's Shifa medical complex. The bodies were executed and buried during the Israeli military operation in the hospital. Mutasam Salah from Gaza's Ministry of Health says some bodies have been decomposed. Other corpses only consist of certain body parts, including those of women. A joint committee involving various ministries will handle the identification and burial process. Medical sources confirmed the bodies were executed and hastily buried. Dozens more decomposed, burned, and dismembered bodies have been found throughout the hospital grounds. Israeli officials have not yet responded to these allegations. Earlier, Gaza's Civil Defense Service reported recovering 409 bodies from Khan Yunis and the Shifa medical complex after Israeli forces withdrew from the areas. A driver has targeted a group of pro-Palestinian Jewish activists in Paris, France. The driver deliberately plowed into the crowd before fleeing the scene. The activists were protesting military backing for Israel's Gaza operations. No casualties have been reported. Farida Amrani, an MP from the French opposition Unsubmissive France Party, has shared footage capturing the harrowing moment outside the Theos Group's headquarters. Amrani condemns the incident as a shocking attack on Jewish activists. She's calling on law enforcement and the Justice Ministry to take swift action. A UK court has ruled a ban on Muslim prayer at Michaela Community School in London lawful. The ban was initiated last year by the school founder, Catherine Berbelsing. The ban faced a legal challenge from a Muslim pupil. During the hearing, the pupil argued the ban is discriminatory. The school defended the ban, saying it was placed after receiving death threats over public prayer. The court has ruled the school has the right to set its policies. While the court has dismissed the pupil's arguments against the ban, it has upheld her challenge regarding her temporary exclusion. Following the ruling, the Muslim student has expressed disappointment. The student says the ban is alienating religious minorities. Berbelsing welcomes the school's decision. British media reports she has told parents that if they do not like the ban, they should come to the school. She calls the ruling victory for all schools. Berbelsing has been called Britain's strictest head teacher. The United Nations has demanded that Israel put an end to its backing of settler assaults in the occupied West Bank. The news comes after a recent shooting of 2 Palestinians by Israeli settlers. The UN Human Rights Office is calling for an immediate action. Ravina Shamdasani, spokesperson for the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, says it is Israel's obligation to safeguard Palestinians from settler violence. She is demanding that Israel cease unjustified use of force by its security forces. In a direct address to the Peel District School Board, Education Minister Stephen Leche has called for an end to what he views as divisive politics with the educational sphere. The minister is demanding that Peel Board remove the recently recognized Nakba Day from school calendars. Nakba Day translates to memory of the catastrophe. It marks the expulsion of Palestinians from their land in 1948. While talking to a media outlet, Leche has cited concerns about injecting political agendas into educational settings. He says schools should prioritize academic excellence over contentious political commemorations. Since the inclusion of Nakba Day, there has been a significant email campaign urging the board to reconsider its decision. While the Peel District School Board initially defended its stance by highlighting the importance of diversity, it now faces mounting pressure to reconsider. The National Council of Canadian Muslims is advocating for the retention of Nakba Day on the calendar. It says the day has historical significance and there is a need to acknowledge past events. However, Minister Leche maintains that such commemorations have no place in educational settings. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad.